Good morning. This is the Board of Appeals, Town of Hempstead, December 4th, 9:30 meeting. Will everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Chairman, do you have any opening remarks?
Yes. Good morning. For those of you who have not appeared before us, the procedures we follow are, first, we will call any request for adjournment, and then we'll get into the regular calendar if there, once we've concluded that portion of the program. This is not a court of law. As a result, it's an administrative body, so we are not constrained by the rules of evidence, formal rules of evidence. We accept different things. The proceedings are archived. They are video streamed, and they're archived so that if anyone would like to refer to them in the future, you're free to do so. I guess that's about it for the time being. Do we have any adjournments?
Mr. Chairman, I do not have any adjournments for this morning.
Okay.
First, we have cases 700 through 703-24, Seaford Herbert Berger, renewal of grants, variance in off-street parking, use premises for outdoor storage of masonry materials, rear yard variances to maintain concrete storage bins to store masonry materials, front yard average setback, and rear yard variances to maintain storage of masonry materials on premises, also known as 3570 Merrick Road.
Is there anyone here?
My name is Howard Berger, 5 Notch Court, Dix Hills, New York.
Good morning. So you're here to renew a grant for off-street parking using the premises for outdoor storage. The building department inspected the property on October 7, 2024, and they found that all conditions previously imposed by this board have been complied with. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Do I have any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move that the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That's the same case.
Thank you.
Oh, Chris Gray is on this one.
Next, we have case 704-24, Oceanside, Constantinos Colinas. Variances, lot area occupied, side yard aggregate, construct garage attached dwelling, also known as 2696 Maggie Place.
Yes.
He's injured. Mr. Gray is injured.
Chris Gray, architect, 2401 Capri Place, North Belmont, New York, representing Constantinos Colias, located at 2696 McGee Place. Good morning.
Morning.
My client wishes to construct an attached garage to his dwelling. And the reasons why we are here is that the side yard aggregate is under the required. Although the proposed structure meets the side yard requirement over 5 feet, so we propose 5.2. The aggregate of 12 feet is required. Excuse me?
Go ahead.
Okay. The aggregate side yards are to be 12 feet, whereas the proposed is 8.2. On the west side of the property, the existing dwelling is non-conforming, and it's 2.6 feet to the property line.
15.
Also, the building area proposed is 38.9% over the maximum allowable 27.5. So,
What zone is this? It's a B,
Residence B.
so it needs a 15-foot
15
aggregate.
foot.
Well, no, there's a permitted encroachment. If an addition is used for garage purposes only, the aggregate may be to 12 feet.
Okay, right, yes, okay.
Okay.
So, this,
How many cars can fit in this?
Garage.
Garage.
several. Mr.
Like
Kalias.
how many? More than one, more than two, more
Oh,
than three?
Well, they could be in tandem, you know, there's, well, let me start with, he's a car enthusiast. He currently is employed as an electrician, so he's not in the mechanic industry, but he's a car enthusiast. He likes to work on his cars, and, you know, they could, when you have a hobby car, they could be put on rollers and moved around, so he could easily stuff 3 cars in there with motorcycles and whatnot. So I advise my client that this is a high-risk variance going over the building area. But this,
What is it?
you know, this is his dream to have a place where he can store and work on his personal vehicles. He currently has his vehicles in the driveway. He rents a garage next door. He stores one vehicle. He rents another garage in Queens. He stores another. So he would like to contain all his hobbies in one building. And also his neighbors, I'm sure, would appreciate that to be contained. I'd like to hand in, I have a consent letter from 15 neighbors. A consent letter. They were shown the plan. They had no objection to it. So this is pretty much in the hands of the board.
Who got those signatures?
Excuse me?
Who went around and obtained the signatures?
Mr. Kalias did. If you'd like to say a few words, just introduce yourself.
The garage looks almost as big as the house.
That's, and yes, and footprint, yes. So this is Mr. Kalias's wish. I told him it's quite large, but
Quite.
if you'd like to say a few words, introduce yourself. Yes.
Name and address,
Introduce.
Has he been sworn? Have you been sworn in, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Name and address for the record.
My name is Konstantinos Kolias, 2696 McGee Place, Oceanside.
Okay. What would you like to say?
Okay. I'm not gonna work in the garage with the cars. It's just for storage. I just collect classic cars. It's not gonna be zero work in the garage.
How many classic cars do you have, sir?
I have a 1965.
Well, how many?
How many? 1, 2, 3, and 2 motorcycles. I just sold one.
So
I
you
used-
have 5.
So, 5 so far.
5 so far.
Yeah, but I guess that's my dream. I like, it's classic cars. They're not regular
Are
cars.
they
How high is
registered? I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
have pictures if you want to see them.
What are the cars? You know, you
He said
started
it's
in
a-
1965.
I have a 1965 Buick Riviera, classic, all original. 1971 Fiat, it's Italian, all restored. It's a 2004 one-year car. It's STI, and I got 2 motorcycles. And I just sold a 1965
How high?
Thunderbird.
How high is that garage, Joe? Because he's going to put lifts in it.
I got pictures if you want to see them.
No, it's not necessary.
Sir, what kind of work do you do on the cars?
Says he doesn't
I'm not
do
doing any
anything.
work at the cars. I'm just collecting.
Okay, so there's no work you do
No.
on the
No.
cars at your home?
Zero, no.
Okay, and you don't have a mechanic coming in and?
No, it's just classic cars. They're just restored.
They're already restored?
Yes,
Okay,
because I'm not doing no work. I can't do any work. It's only for storage. I just want to put all my cars together in one garage next to my house. Now they're all over the place now. I have one Queens, one next door to my neighbor, two in the driveway and two motorcycles in the driveway, and it looks kind of,
The garage, there was a detached garage on this property that was removed prior to Mr. Colias taking occupancy of the home. So he has no garage at all currently. I would say at least like a 20 by 20, a good solid two car.
yeah, it was 22.
And it's long gone. Oh, there's most certainly. A little narrow, but a lot longer. The old two-car garage was probably 400 square feet, and this proposed is 673, so it's significantly larger.
Variance?
The old garage, it appeared to like a two-car, like a 20 by 20,
Really?
400 square feet.
Okay.
It was tall with attic.
Is there any way that I could, if it's approved, is there any way that you could pass from the house to the garage, a door, entry, something like that?
There, on the plan, there is no connection to the interior.
I know, is there any intention to do that?
No,
And would you agree to a condition that you cannot?
yes. I don't want entrance.
So you'll agree that you cannot pass from the house to the garage?
Yes, sir, that's only for storage, for the cars.
Are you going to put heat in the garage? Is the garage going to be heated, sir?
Like a rolling gate?
Heated,
Oh, heated?
Heated.
heated. It's for storage.
It's for,
You're not going to heat the garage, are
like from
you?
the boiler, you mean, like heat?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, okay. You'll accept that as a condition as well?
From the boiler,
You'll
like
accept-
like
you'll-
plumbing?
yes.
No, no plumbing in the garage.
No plumbing, no heat?
Electric, yes, for the garage door, power.
That's a different story.
Oh, different story, okay.
It's a two-family dwelling now?
Yes,
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 yes.
yes.
Do the tenants have cars
On the street,
on the
yes.
street?
And you live there, is that
Yes,
correct?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions from the board? Does that conclude your presentation,
Yes,
Mr.
it does.
Gray?
Yes, it does.
If not, do I have a motion?
I move that the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Next, we have case 70524, Oceanside, Greta Apperbach. Variance lot area occupied, install accessory structure, shed, also known as 3351 Poplar Street.
What's the lot area? Put it in there. A shed, how big is the shed? So the only thing is the lot area.
Greta Apterbach, 3351 Poplar Street, Oceanside, New York.
William Afterback, 3351 Poplar Street.
Could you please speak up?
Oh,
Because
sure.
we can't really hear
I'm
you up
sorry.
here.
So Greta Apterbach, 3351 Poplar Street, Oceanside, New York.
And William Afterback, 3351 Poplar Street, Oceanside, New York.
Good morning.
So, okay.
Okay, so you're here for lot area occupied. Do you know what is permitted and what you're proposing?
Yes, I do. So what's permitted is,
Shed is 1.1%,
it's
5.
27.5% is permitted. We currently have the lot coverage right now is 33.43%, and that's occupied by the house with the deck and the open front porch. We want to add a shed that's going to add 80 square feet, so 1.1%
1%.
of lot coverage.
It's 30, the current is, if we approve this, it's 33.43, which they're only here for the shed, and that's 1.1%, which,
Have you been to the property?
I'm sorry?
Have you?
I own it.
Oh,
We
you own
live
it, I'm
there.
sorry, I apologize.
When we bought the property, it was already over the lot coverage, and now we just want to add a shed.
Yeah, because if you're only proposing 1.1%, and it brings you to 33 and a half almost, were there variances issued previously to the property?
No,
But
I don't-
that
not
would
that-
mean that the property was previously at 32 and
no,
change.
so it's always been at 33.43. Now we're adding 1.1, so it's going to 34.5 now, I
Right,
guess.
but 32 would have required a variance, that's why I'm asking. Where's that?
So we were denied because it said that we exceeded the
Right,
no,
the occupancy.
the allowable coverage is 27.5%. Now, it used to be 30, about, I don't know, changed about 10 years ago. But
it
even
was
30,
never 32.
you would have been over.
Okay.
I mean, not you, but the prior owners. So I just want to, the reason it may matter is because, you know, you may need to short some other stuff, you know.
Okay.
It's not going to adversely affect our work here on this. This shed is what the shed is, 1%, 0.1 or whatever, and otherwise a compliant shed.
Okay.
So it's just, I'm not sure what.
No, the
willing
concern, the concern for the board is, how did you get 32.43%, and whether or not there's a history that we're not aware of, and you may not be aware of it
Yeah.
either.
That was prior to our,
You didn't
Our
add
moving
any
in.
of this deck space because
no. we
your
were-
your plot plan shows that you have a permit for a deck outstanding.
it's- The deck, I think all of our permits are closed.
Do you still have the
see that.
senior residence?
Yes.
Now, that says it was issued temporarily for 2 years. When was that issued, if you know?
I had,
And who's the senior?
my mom,
Okay, and she's part owner. She's one of the owners.
no,
She just lives there.
she lives there.
She doesn't have,
Did you apply for the senior residence?
Yeah, well,
did-
yes, we did with our architect and the
she's not on the deed.
construction, work
Understood.
too. Okay.
Dawn? Dawn?
You want to know when the deck was closed? Oh, no, I don't have a date. 2014
Maybe she
is when the maintain the rear deck was placed. I mean, we're willing to take down the deck as a contingency.
Okay. And it's Oceanside, like you should care.
All right, all right. What are you talking about? It's a 1% shed. It's bookcase. No, no, we're getting too far into the history of it. I don't want to go into the history of it. She's here for one thing, 1%.
Yeah.
All right? It's a de minimis case. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
I know.
Any other questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you.
Second.
Thank you so
All in
much.
favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Next, we have cases 70624 through 70724, Uniondale. David Ramjan. Variance, rear yard, maintain roof over open porch attached to dwelling, maintain 6-foot-high fence forward to dwelling which may substantially obstruct line of sight, also known as 752 Coleridge Road.
Lisa Koshia with Permits Are Us, 338 Jericho Turnpike, number 396, Syosset, New York, 11791. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I'm here representing Mr. Ramjan, who wishes to maintain and legalize a roof over and a fence.
Have been to the house. Ah, good move.
Okay. This property is located in a Residence B zone. The roof over has a rear yard setback of 6.8 feet, where the required is 15 feet. That 6.8 feet is only in that one corner of the roof over, because the property is an irregular property. And the fence forward of the dwelling is a 3-foot solid and a 1-foot lattice on top and does not cause any line of sight issues. These items have been there for approximately 5 years. Mr. Ramjan respectfully requests your approval.
About the fence. So it looks like the fence is a solid 4-foot it says 4-foot PVC fence, 3-foot solid, 1-foot lattice.
On the top of it, correct?
That runs up the side to the driveway, right?
Correct.
That's on which street? That's on, I can't make it out.
It
And
is
that's
on Coleridge.
And that's not before us, correct?
It is before us.
Because I thought it said 6.
No 4-foot fence.
No, it says maintain 6-foot-high fence forward of the dwelling. Doesn't say anything about the 4. Is there
I
any
think-
6-foot fence forward of the dwelling?
There appears to be. Take a look at the photographs.
It doesn't say that.
On my notice that went out, it says maintain 4-foot-high fence forward of dwelling.
Where does it say that?
On the notice that was sent out.
Maybe I'm looking at
But
the
I
wrong
you-
can,
case.
I can show you that if you need it.
And it doesn't say it on ours. 706. Okay, in a second. So let me just figure this out. So on the other side, since your corner property, let me just locate where all the 6-foot. Right, but do you have 4-foot on your calendar?
Yeah, right in the front is 4 foot, right here.
No, but we're talking
No,
about the calendar.
it's not on the calendar, and the maintained 6-foot-high fence is
Okay,
on
so
the calendar.
6-foot PVC fence that is for sure before us is the one that runs down the
Alexander Avenue.
southern property line, then toward Alexander Avenue, and then along Alexander Avenue, cuts back. Does that one, where is how far is the neighbor's driveway? It looks like it's 16 feet.
It's about 16 feet. It is 16 feet.
And then on the other side, as we go around, your client's only driveway, right, is the one on Coleridge?
Correct.
Okay, and it looks as though, oh, that's the shed. Does that shed have a permit in the front yard? Or is that principal side yard shed in behind a 6-foot fence?
It does
There's an
have a
application.
permit.
There's an application.
It's considered the rear yard.
What's that?
Even though it's a corner property, where the shed is located is considered the rear yard.
Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on. John.
I see, yes. I'm waiting.
Turn that off.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
Ms. Kachia, so we're, just so it doesn't seem strange, I personally, and I can only speak for myself, you're probably familiar with the ordinance that was probably issued, I'm going to say I've been here so long, 10 years ago, which has this whole principal side yard idea. And that ordinance talks about what you're allowed to put within the principal side yard. If you have a lawful 6-foot fence on that principal side yard, in my opinion, nothing in that statute says you're entitled to put up that fence in that otherwise front yard, principal side yard.
Right.
But as you probably know, the building department, some of the building department members have used that statute as authorization to, without a variance, approve what is a front yard fence, 6 feet. In this case, the applicant, I think properly, was not granted. There's no basis to legally grant a 6-foot fence for the dwelling, even though some members erroneously cite to that statute. So you have it pending this shed application. And we have our most esteemed plans examiner here, so it's a wonderful thing. You have pending also an application your client does for a shed which otherwise would meet the requirements size-wise, but doesn't meet location-wise. But if we were to approve this fence, that shed would be an as-of-right shed. It's very circuitous reasoning, and I don't think that good. So one thing that I would like to inquire of you is, would your client should properly put that shed 2 feet and 2 feet off the rear and side. Now, I'm guessing you're calling, I think your rear yard is the yard opposite Coleridge Road, right? There's some discretion in what's side and what's rear, but principal side is obviously Alexander Avenue. Front is Coleridge, so then out of the other two, the shed should be 2 feet off those other property lines, right? You know what I'm saying? Corner property, exactly 2.
Yeah.
So what is the RO in BP 241606?
285. So she's got
Oh, roof over. I bet it's a roof over. It's just noted RO, but it's probably a roof over, right?
Yes.
So that would mean that the shed won't fit there.
No.
But the shed still could be potentially, how long's the shed been there?
About 5 years. No. Actually, I don't know how long the shed has been there. I know the roof over and the fence have been there about 5 years. I'm not sure about the shed. I'd have to find out for you.
I think we should inspect the front. Okay. And then how long has the fence been there?
About 5 years.
And I can't see a notation as to how far it's set back. I see the shed is 3 feet back from the fence, but is it right on the property line?
And 2 feet from the
Other fence.
fence on Alexander. It's 3
So-
feet off of that fence and 2 feet off of the fence going south, I guess you would say, on Alexander.
That roof over that's, has a permit 24, that permit's been issued, right? That's an as of right?
The roof over is, I'm here for that today. The 24-1606 is
Oh, I'm
because
sorry,
the
you're
corner.
correct. But why does it have a building permit number then? So confused. But it has a BP number, not an
Yeah.
application.
The plot plan is mislabeled. It does not,
I think because it also includes, that permit also includes sliding glass door, rear garage door. So I'm just
The
I'm
same
here for that one
application
little
included
part.
some as-of-right stuff and some that you're,
Correct. It's just that roof over is part of that application. That's why I'm here today.
So is that, oh, that's a maintain also. So we can't move the shed there unless we deny that. How long's that been there?
The roof over, about 5 years. The fence and the roof over were put
So
up
the
roughly
COVID
the same time.
alterations,
The COVID,
right?
yes, correct.
Okay.
that fence according to the Google Earth, there's a white fence that's, whose is that? It's on the shed side.
That's the one before us. Oh, another one.
On the, let's say, rear of the shed, heading south, would
Yes.
be the 6-foot PVC is my client.
So, by the way, Ms. Kachia, the 4-foot fence is not before us. Would you mind, go ahead and show me your ad. Well, the esteemed Justice, Judge Adams, nice to see you. We'll take a recess for you, Mr. Adams. Thank you for making an appearance here. You've upped our credibility. Okay, so. David, okay, wait, hold on. 707. 706, 706, here. Here, take a look. Yeah, we don't have look what we have. Maintain roof over porch, maintain 6-foot high fence forward the dwelling which may substantially. Okay, go ahead, go back. Oh, let me keep that for a second. Ms. Kachia, let me have that so I can put it in the record. One second. Stephanie, so let's let. One moment. Okay, I gotta make a record, Joe.
No, I think it might actually have in front of that, because all of his fencing has this beige and the white on the outside. Even that fence that runs forward is the same. Yeah, it has the beige like interior and the white in the front. The 4-foot section that I believe that was here for today has the lattice on top.
Okay, let me make it right. Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we amend the caption. The representative for the applicant has shown us that the advertisement and notice that went out to the community as required by law does in fact contain the following notation. In addition to what's on ours, it is case 706, variance rear yard, maintain roof over porch attached to dwelling. 707, maintain 4-foot high fence forward of dwelling, which may affect the line of sight in the applicant's driveway. Just leave it at that.
And the caption to.
All right, so that will be, my motion, Mr. Chairman, is to add that to the caption, since it was properly advertised to the community, and is shown accurately on all the materials that were filed in advance of 30 days before this hearing.
Okay. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we've amended the caption to include the 4-foot high fence forward of the dwelling. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion? What?
Okay, Stephanie, let the record reflect that after counsel with our esteemed most senior plans examiner, we have determined that we obviously are aware there's 6-foot PVC fence forward the dwelling on Alexander Avenue needs relief, the roofed over patio, and the 3-foot solid with a 1-foot lattice forward of the dwelling on the side that's Coolidge Road also needs relief. It's near the applicant's driveway, and so we will be considering that for relief also. I have no further questions.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Kachia, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Second, all in favor? Any opposed, any abstentions?
Next, we have case 70824, Merrick, Dennis, and Michelle Yeager. Variances, front yard average setback, side yard construct addition, and 2-car garage with second story above both attached dwelling. Demolish existing 2-car detached garage, also known as 45 Stevens Avenue.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Patrick Stone. I'm an architect and the applicant on behalf of the homeowners. Residence 12 Plymouth Road, Massapequa, New York.
Morning.
Good morning. Dennis Jager, 45 Stevens Avenue, Merrick, New York.
Morning.
Okay, as you heard, we are here today to seek leniency on two parts of two different setbacks on this property, located at 45 Stevens Avenue in Merrick. The homeowner is seeking a side yard setback leniency and a front yard setback leniency. The project entails a proposed 2-car garage with some additional first floor square footage, a great room. They have a growing family that they need some more space in the dwelling, as
Wait,
well as...
wait, can we just go to, you're going to demolish the existing garage though, right?
Yes, correct. The
And is
existing,
that attached or detached?
the existing detached garage will be demolished. That's in the back, I'll say the northwest corner of the property. That'll be demolished.
And that's because you want to enlarge it, or it's not structurally sound, or what?
It's actually being removed to make more space in the backyard and also to keep us under our lot coverage. We did not desire to exceed the maximum allowable lot coverage. So the new addition will include about 500 square feet worth of interior space on the first floor, just shy of 500 square feet of garage space, 2-car garage, and then a partial second floor above that will connect to the remainder of the home.
Okay, what is the average, the front yard average setback?
Front
And
yard-
what are you requesting?
So the front yard average setback is 30 feet. We are requesting a leniency to 27'6", and the side yard minimum is 6'4", and we are requesting leniency to 5'2", which would be a 14-inch leniency. The aggregate side yard is within, complies with requirements.
You're not here.
And the addition on the home that's on the second story, that's entirely within the existing footprint?
It's within the footprint of the proposed garage.
Okay.
You know, the proposed first floor, yeah.
Okay.
I may have missed it, the second story of the garage, what is that going to be?
The second story, it's storage. Above the garage, what we did was we had, with the floor-to-floor heights, we had the availability to create some extra storage space above that garage. That'll be accessible from the second floor
Little hatch.
Second floor of the dwelling?
of the dwelling, yes. It's not even with the dwelling, but it'll be accessible from the second floor. We're capturing space above the garage due to the roof structure, the way the gable works out. We were able to capture some storage.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You will both receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you.
Second,
Have a great day.
all in favor? Any opposed?
Can I have it back?
Piece of cake.
Next, we have case 70924, Franklin Square, Alfie Matahill. Variance lot area occupied, maintain roofed over porch attached dwelling, also known as 835 Princeton Road.
Oh, Mr. Jacob.
Kurt Jacobs, architect, 201 Northwest Drive, Farmingdale, New York.
Morning, my name is Alfie Matahill. Address is 835 Princeton Road, Franklin Square, New York.
Morning.
Morning.
Mr. Jacobs,
Yes, good morning.
floor is yours.
It's a
Thank
closed
you.
permit.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Mr. Alfie Matherfield has asked me
Mr. Jacobs, can you?
Speak a little louder.
Mr. Alfie Matherfield has asked me to appear before you with his variance request. We were before this board on March 1st, 2023 for proposed construction. It's all one story. The house is one story construction, which the new construction would create a lot coverage of 34.9%.
Wait a minute, hold on. It looks like your chart says that the total area is currently, as to coverage, 26%. Of course, allowable is 27.5, and this says 26.5. Just want to make sure we're considering the right number. And that
Well,
the materials
I
are,
don't, the variance was approved, and it was case number 155 on March 1st, 2023, for 34.9% lot coverage, and it was unanimously approved by the board.
what was that variance for?
That was for a proposed rear addition
Okay.
and front roof.
So that got you to 34.9.
Yes.
So that makes sense that this addition is going to bring you up, the materials say 36.5.
Yeah, well, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
During construction, the porch that was initially approved was 4 foot by 11 foot, 44 square feet. During construction, it was made larger to 8 feet by 15 feet, which equals 120 square feet. An increase of 76 square feet, which increased the lot coverage by 1.6% to 36.5%. As noted on the plot plan, the only issue we're going for is lot coverage. This has no adverse effect on the front yard setback to the porch. The front yard setback is 37.2 feet. You can see that the porch is adjacent to a front addition that was part of the original house. At the last hearing, we had 4 letters of consent from the neighbors. They still have no objections. If the board were to grant this variance, we would condition that the roof porch will not be enclosed or further expanded. Thank you.
Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Jacobs, you and your client will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Next, we have case 71024, Elmont Chappelle Pierre, Fassa Pierre, and Kimberly H. Pierre, mother-daughter residence, second kitchen, also known as 142 Oakley Avenue.
Here you go. You better make the case.
Hi, good morning.
Faiza Pierre.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. Faiza Pierre, 142 Oakley Avenue, Almont, 11003, New York.
Good morning, Kimberly Pierre, 142 Oakley Avenue, Elmont, New York, 11003.
Hi, good morning. My name is Chapel Pierre, address 142 Oakley Avenue, Elmont, New York, 11003.
Morning.
So you folks are here because you're in an application for a mother-daughter use.
Yes.
Who's going to present it, or is it a group effort? Who should I speak to? Okay. So have you received and read and understand the mother-daughter conditions that go along with any grant by this board?
Yes.
That would be that if it's granted, it's renewable every 3 years. It's granted only to your family, and at the cessation or when you're done using it this way, if you were to sell it, you're supposed to pull out the kitchen with the proper permit, the extra kitchen. You can't transfer this use to the next buyer. The house is supposed to give all of the look indication of a single-family residence with one doorbell, one power meter, one mailbox. It's supposed to look to everyone else like it's a single-family dwelling, correct?
Yes, it's just like that.
How many cars do you have in your home?
2 vehicles,
And how many of those can park on the driveway or in the garage?
2 of them.
Okay.
Is the kitchen already in the house?
Well, we only bought the house last year, and the kitchen was existing when we bought the house.
So you currently have 2 kitchens in
Yes.
the home?
One moment here, let's go through the people.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
So I'm going to tell you who I have listed as people who are going to live in the house.
One person missing.
So in one unit,
One person missing. Why?
one unit I have Chapelle Pierre,
That's myself.
Faiza Pierre, and Kevin Pierre.
That's my son.
One unit.
Yes.
In the other unit, I have Kimberly Pierre.
That's my daughter.
Oh, okay. Wait. Oh,
And-
Kevin's the
and-
one who's not here.
Yes.
Okay. And, let's see. Okay.
Kimberly, you'll be the only person living in that second unit?
Yes, sir.
Just take a
Can
glance.
you tell us why Kevin is not here today?
He couldn't get the time off from his job.
Okay.
Is this,
a
one
high
floor is one
ranch.
unit and another floor is another unit, or are they side by side?
First and second.
Okay, and is there a basement in the house?
No.
No cell ranch?
Whenever we have an application for a mother-daughter use or a immediate family use, the Board of Architectural Review reviews it to determine whether or not the structure is suitable to be converted into a mother-daughter and used that way, and then to be reverted back to a single-family dwelling at the when you're finished using it that way. Sometimes they make recommendations, and we usually give you an opportunity to explain to us if it's a recommendation you don't want to do. For example, if they want you to put a new door at the top, or take a door out and get rid of the walls so there's no knee wall, and keep it completely open, oftentimes people don't want to do that. Sometimes because of the expense, sometimes because they have pets they need to keep in one house or the other. Sometimes it's because they have children where it's not safe for the children to go up and down stairs. So in the case of this application, the Board of Architectural Review reviewed this application and found it to be suitable to be used the way you've proposed, and to be suitable for a reversion back when you're finished using it that way. And I just need to put that on the record. They made no recommendations, so you don't have to explain to me why you may or may not want to do them, okay?
Thank you.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No.
Do I have any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed, that the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Each of you who have signed in will receive a copy
There's your
of
rubber
our
band.
decision once we make that decision.
Okay, thank you.
Have a nice day,
Se-
folks.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Next, we have case 71124, Levittown, Matt and Heidi Kinkle. Special exception to maintain accessory structure shed exceeding a horizontal maximum with less than required rear yard setback, also known as 36 Squirrel Lane.
Tina Pengallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. I'm representing Matthew and Heidi Kinkle of 36 Squirrel Lane in Levittown. The property is located on the south side of Squirrel Lane, 425 feet west of Post Lane in the LP or D district. We're requesting a special exception to maintain a shed that exceeds the maximum length allowed of 12 feet. The shed is 15 by 8, is 120 square feet, so it does meet the within the maximum square footage allowed of 144 square feet. The rear yard setback required is 2 feet, and the rear yard provided is 1 feet 8 inches. The side yard is 2 feet 3 inches, so that meets the allowable setback. I'd like to submit an aerial view of the property that shows that there's a commercial building and parking lot behind where the shed is.
Ms. Pengallo, is it a corner? It's not a corner, is it?
No, it's not a corner. When the Kinkles purchased the house in 2006, there was a smaller shed that was there and in bad shape. They replaced it about 5 years ago with this existing shed. They were not aware that a permit was required until they filed an application to construct a side addition. There's no garage, no basement, so the shed allows them to store their lawn equipment, bikes, and tools. As far as we know, there's been no complaints from the neighbors, and we're respectfully asking the board to grant this variance.
What is the commercial property behind this property?
It's labeled on there, I don't know what store it is. It's parking lots and stores. Let's see, it might be on the right.
So they would be the only ones affected by this if the board would have granted?
That's correct. It's store, salon. It's all parking lots, all back there, the whole.
Okay. I see it on.
It's Hempstead Turnpike.
I see it on Google Earth. There's nobody that's going to be affected by it.
Not adversely, that's for
Thank
sure.
you.
Any other questions from the board?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Pengallo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second?
Thank you very much.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have cases 71224 through 71424. Roosevelt, Arlie A. Rodriguez. Variances, front yard setbacks on St. Francis Street and Bennett Avenue. Maintain first and second story additions attached to dwelling and interior alterations in excess of 50%. New CO required. Variances, side yard, rear yard. Maintain two-car detached garage. Maintain a 6-foot-high fence forward of the dwelling on St. Francis Street and Bennett Avenue, located in the clear sight triangle at owners and neighbors' driveways, also known as 110 St. Francis Street.
Anthony Curcio, Curcio Law, 40 Marcus Drive, Suite 100, Melville, New York, 11747. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Mr. Curcio, have you been in the house?
No,
Have you inspected the outside of the house?
I have not.
To your knowledge, how many kitchens are in the house?
One kitchen.
And you
Where
were,
did you get that knowledge?
The floor plans?
Have
Thank
you
you.
spoken to who drew the floor plans by any chance?
I'm sorry?
Did you just see the floor plans because they were brought to you, or did you ever have occasion to have a conversation with the person who drew the floor plans?
Yeah, she's here today.
The architect who drew
Drafter
them?
is here today, and the architect, yeah.
Okay, great. Go ahead and do your thing, and we'll ask.
is the house up for sale now?
No, it is not.
There's a for sale sign on the photo that's been submitted.
It is for sale? Yes, it is for sale. I apologize.
It is for sale.
Yes.
Is it listed on the internet? Could I look at it on,
It's not on MLS, no.
it's not,
For sale by owner at this point.
for sale by owner? Thank you.
Applicant is requesting the following variance relief. Front yard setbacks on St. Francis Street and Bennett Avenue to maintain first and second story additions attached to the dwelling and interior alterations in excess of 50% of market value. Variances for side yard and rear yard setbacks to maintain. Oh. Variances for side yard and rear yard setbacks to maintain a two-car detached garage, to maintain a 6-foot-high fence forward to the dwelling on St. Francis Street and Bennett Avenue, located in the clear sight triangle at the corner of the property, and the clear sight triangle at the owner's and neighbor's driveway. Subject property is located at 110 St. Francis Street, Roosevelt, New York, 11575, on the east side of Babylon Turnpike and the west side of Delisle Avenue. Lot area is approximately 5,000 square feet with lot coverage of 1,358 square feet. Subject premises is directly across the street from Ulysses Bias Elementary School and is also in walking distance from St. Francis Street Park. Further, the property is surrounded by residential properties in the Residence B zone. For the relief requested for the front yard setbacks, it should be noted that the applicant applied for and was approved for interior alterations and was issued a permit. However, applicant started construction, but due to a miscommunication between the applicant and the contractor, front of the house on the first floor and second floor were built slightly different, changing the footprint of the second floor by pushing the portions of the first floor and second floor forward. Just the corners of the property on this were expanded slightly to make it even. There should be. Those were as of right. And then and when they did the construction, it was seen that it was done outside the scope of the plans, and we were told to come here at that point.
I have a photograph here in the file that says, nothing under, but this says after.
Okay?
I don't see,
There should be before pictures also.
that's what I'm looking for. So you did submit before pictures?
I have them if you don't have them. I'll give them to you.
You did. I see the before. I mean the after. I have the after, but yeah, if you have, or if there are a couple of you that are not.
These are black and
labeled.
white. These are black and white, but I mean they still.
Well, you know what, can you just come up and see if one of these, I don't see a label on these. I have these two I have after. Wait, that was the before? But so, they took off this.
No, they expanded. See where
Yeah, it looks like this.
So they're not coming any further forward with the existing.
Let me ask you. Sure. I see this as part of the proposed. Are those stairs?
No, that's the addition. This right here is
Yeah.
here. And now with what we're
But there's not stairs inside.
No, that's just showing you where the proposed.
Oh, it's a
addition
different
is.
kind of
So
hatch.
now it's basically a square versus this being set back.
And the original plan did not have that?
Correct.
And what about this?
That's the first floor. So just coming out
Even with the house. Was that on the original plan?
No, I believe that's what.
So the highlighted is orange first floor, yellow second floor.
And as you can see, this first, even though we're expanding, we're still staying.
Yeah.
Well, if, you know, sometimes people do come in, contractors make mistakes, but that's usually like a little bit taller, a little bit larger, but to square off when plans showed it to go in, that seems, like how do you make a mistake? Like when the front just looks like this and the plan is like that, and then you just go, oh, let me square it all off.
This, I don't disagree with you, I think it was done intentionally, but, I think that we're here trying to correct our mistake at this point, so.
I feel like there's no way it could be done but intentionally when you square off something. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's the same shape but wider or the same shape but taller. This is what it was. We don't have the percentage. Oh, they're not here for it. They're not here for that. No, they're not here for it.
Nope.
Yeah, you have that because you have to get it.
accept them in evidence.
Can you just hand it to, all right, you can proceed.
These changes to the first and second floor are de minimis, as the existing second floor already had an existing front yard setback of 14.17 feet to St. Francis Street, and the first floor already had an existing setback of 14.65 feet to Bennett Avenue prior to the aforementioned additions, which setbacks have not been changed. Further, the front yard setback of the home located at 120 St. Francis Street directly adjacent.
Can you restate that? Say that again. You need front yard, and then you said some numbers, and I thought you said the front yard setbacks didn't change.
Correct, they have not changed.
From what?
From the prior, yeah, they're already existing. We're staying within the footprint of the home with the additions.
So were there previous variances granted then?
No, that's how the house was, it was existing at the time.
I'm just wondering how it got into a situation of having,
I'm not sure, I guess that's how the house was built originally.
what is the,
Do you have anything from the Department of Assessment to back that up?
I don't have anything from the Department of Assessment to back that up.
Sorry.
Becky, a corner in B is 25, right? Because the setbacks applicable were 25 on those two sides. So in order for it to already be at a 14 and change, it must have had some action, something prior. Do you know when the house was built by any chance?
I have no idea.
Do you know if it was before 1930?
I don't want to make any assumptions on the record, but it's pretty old. I can tell.
And you're an expert? or
I'm
you-
not claiming to be an expert, but it looks pretty old.
No, he said, can your expert?
Oh, can my
There's a-
expert?
There's a,
State your name for the record.
Gustavo Munoz, architect. The house was built in 1935. The lot is a substandard lot in that it's only 5,000 square feet. The lot is only 5,000 square feet now. This zoning district requires a 6,000 square foot lot. The width of the lot should be a minimum of I believe is 55, while this lot is only 50. So it's a substandard lot.
have you applied for a non-conforming one-family dwelling on the substandard lot?
No.
No. Have you been in the house? You personally, you've been in?
Yes.
And when were you there?
Well, I was there this morning, passed along this morning, and then when we drew the plans, we had to go into the house.
And you went into every room in the house?
Yes,
Is there only one kitchen or two
There's
kitchens
only
or
one
three
kitchen.
kitchens?
only one kitchen.
One kitchen. and he have...
Can I ask why you're asking if there's two kitchens? It's not a two-family house.
It looks like a two-family
Okay.
house.
Okay.
So, you know, if it walks, quacks or whatever, how that...
Just making sure, okay.
Understood.
You might as well ask, so you have a chance to say that it's not.
Becky, excuse me, is a non-conforming application required on something like this?
Yes. Originally, yes. Because the lot is substandard, so you would have had to substantiate the substandard lot, and that is a single and separate, prior to issuing the over 50% permit.
So there's no certificate of occupancy on this house?
No. I'm
So-
looking to see what year it was built.
May I ask you, along those lines, I guess, in looking at the old structure and the after structure, like you said, that little section was just pulled further forward. It looks sort of de minimis in a way when I look at it. But then it's over 50% of alterations. Are those all because it's interior? Is that why? When you need a new CO for so much work on the house, is it mostly just that it's the inside?
It's like a
It's a complete renovation.
if you look at, there's a plumbing permit, there's a bunch of stuff listed for the plumbing permit as well. That's part of the renovations.
Okay, let me just quick, you're also here for a fence, to maintain a 6-foot fence forward of the dwelling and at least one location in the clear sight triangle.
Yeah, there's a correction on that one as well. I know you had an issue with that in an earlier hearing. The fence by the driveway is a 4-foot fence, not a 6-foot. You have it listed as a 6-foot in the letter, but our plans show as a 4-foot fence.
Okay, let me just,
One-
is there any 6-foot fence on the dwelling, on the?
Yes, there is, off to the,
Go ahead, Joe, I'm gonna
We-
just.
toward
ju-
Bennett Avenue is there a 6-foot fence.
You just said a prior hearing, we had a hearing on this before?
No, today. There was
He heard
another-
me
There was
talk.
another
Okay.
hearing that had the same issue.
Okay. Let's get, if we could get back to Mrs. First, on the non-conforming, what is the requirement of the building department? Should he go back to the building department and apply for non-conforming at this point, or if this
Yes,
is approved?
otherwise- Yes, otherwise the board would be required to issue a substandard lot. So, because it's building a brand-new house on a.
Oh, because he's never been approved as a
Yeah,
lot,
not
lot,
conforming,
not
otherwise
lot
he'd
area
need-
lot.
yeah, He needs section 307 and,
Should we set this aside and make him, or allow
in
allow
my
him?
suggestion, it should be set aside and returned to the building department to obtain proper non-conforming prior to hearing this case.
Thank you.
I have a question real quick.
Do you have, Becky, do you have any idea how long that process would take?
A non-conforming, in
Yep.
this case, since the house was already issued a building permit for that, it should only take probably about 4 weeks.
Can you explain what we need to do? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
File for a non-conforming one-family dwelling. So, original CO. House was built prior,
Can you check that?
Does this affect our, is this going to affect our, it's going to help our variances out?
Yes, otherwise you need two
How-
additional variances.
How would it help out our variance?
Because section 307 says creation of 6 feet high of the house will allow less than 6,000 square feet.
Oh, so it helps, so anything we do is going to become an issue. Gotcha, okay. Do you know why that wasn't brought to our attention prior to coming here today?
I can't.
Can't speak to that?
I can't speak to
All right.
another.
We just go to the building department for that application? I'll speak to you, or?
Yeah,
So,
I'll give you my information.
Yeah, when we're done.
so you're going to request an adjournment?
I think they had some questions about the fence. I don't know.
Okay, you want to go further?
Are we putting this whole thing over, or?
He's got to get a non-conforming. You want to conclude the testimony today? Got to get a non-conforming anyway.
I guess we could hear whatever you want to say now.
Is that good if we're going to go for a non-conforming?
Let's back up. Are we going to adjourn this then?
Yes.
Okay.
We
so
have
that-
to.
At least that'll hold it for you rather than starting over.
Okay.
So I would say, yes, then I want to take, they took my papers. I want to take the testimony as to the fence. There's a 4-foot fence along the driveway and 6 foot on 2 sides.
Just a question with the adjourning it for the non-conforming, I guess, certification. Do we have to reapply for a zoning, for the ZBA at that point? Is that going to change anything, or do we
Well, if
just, we're
we
just going to
No.
adjourn it and then
No.
that's
Hold
it?
on a second. Yeah, I don't know how we can adjourn it and then add a case.
I just want to make sure procedurally we're not mucking it up, that's all.
Before it wasn't.
Right, but you're not, the outside's not going to change that much.
Yeah, but and that brought it up to the 50%.
Yeah, right, that's what we were asking.
Yeah. And when it's 50%, it has to be. I mean, look at the before and after.
I know, that's what I thought that was, I thought that told it, sold itself, I guess not.
Okay, all right. I guess, so.
Fences.
Oh, so we'll just let the record reflect, in consultation with counsel to the board, it seems the best course of action is to take the testimony related to all the cases that are before us, adjourn, or I guess we didn't put it on the decision calendar. Put it on the decision calendar, and then
Pending
you'll
approval.
go shore up the issue of the lot being a legal building lot, hopefully by way of a legal non-conforming, which will probably go to Ms. First to get that. And then we can decide our case. Because if it is a legal non-conforming, our guess is there will be no additional relief needed other than what we're addressing today.
Just to make sure, when we file for that, that'll be considered along with the testimony, correct? In the decision?
Yes.
It'll become part of the record at some point, or will be
Will
added
be.
on, even though, okay.
Well, the filing may not, but the outcome. So if you get the legal
Right, the
non-conforming
decision
letter
will be-
issued, you'll bring it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or send it in. We'll make that a part of our record. We will already have taken the testimony on the existing requests. So-
Gotcha.
Okay, so let's
Okay.
just go through the fences.
let's go through the
Fences.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I think that's the architect there.
Yep.
Sir, you're the architect, correct?
Correct.
And you drew the plans?
Yes.
So you've been in the house, as you testified earlier. There is only one kitchen in the house?
There is only one kitchen. There is only one kitchen.
Oh, okay. And there's not additional kitchen, or there's not additional plumbing roughed out for kitchens in like the basement or any other area like that?
I didn't do the inspection for the plumbing, but there shouldn't be.
Okay.
When the non-conforming is filed, does the building department require access to the house to verify what's there?
Can I just ask about the fences so we can deal with that? So I see, oh, you mentioned that there's a 4 and a 6. I see from our advertisement, as you correctly pointed out, similarly, the 6 is on our calendar, and while the 4 is properly shown on the materials that were on file for the required period of time, it's not noted here, but I personally make a motion to amend the caption to include the 4-foot fence, given that it was properly shown, testified to, et cetera, and the relevant community had notice of a 6-foot, so if they had a
Second.
concern.
All in favor?
Aye.
So the
Okay,
caption
so
is amended.
the 4-foot fence, which is on the driveway, and next to the applicant's driveway, and appears to be, and is next to the neighbor's driveway. Do we have a photo of that? Is that a solid? I can't, the writing is so small. It says PVC, but it doesn't say whether that's picket or solid.
It's solid. It's solid, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Oh, and in looking at the photos, it's really only 4 feet for about less than an 8-foot section. This says 14.6 linear feet of 4 feet, but I don't think, in looking at the photos, that looks like 4 feet of 4 linear feet of 4 feet, then what appears to be a regular section, which I'm going to guess is 8, that goes from 4 to 6. So we'll have to have someone come out and inspect that, because I don't think that material, I don't think these materials are correct. What saves us maybe is that it's maintained, so anyone who got notice could see what the proposal was, I guess. And then your other fence, if I can just see from the map, where is the neighbor's driveway? It says yard. The neighbor, let's see, Garcia Benedicto Rodriguez, which is your neighbor
If you're looking at the photo, it's to the left.
to the east?
Yeah. No, to the north.
Well, it's a neighbor to the east, so well, if I look at the directional on the radius map, that appears to be,
Which, we're talking about the one near the driveway, or?
Pardon me?
Which fence are we speaking of? The one near the driveway?
the neighbor to the east, whose name I just mentioned, Garcia Benedicto Rodriguez, is the neighbor to the east of the subject property.
Correct, okay.
If I go by the radius map indicator. Where is that driveway on that neighbor's property?
I believe it's not in the drawing. I think it's north of that. Our 6-foot fence abuts their yard.
So you think that their driveway is likely on the east side of their property?
It's up here somewhere, their driveway.
East side, if we go by the radius map. Okay, how long have the fences been there?
It was put there around the same time construction began,
When was that?
about a year ago. Yeah.
Okay. I just need an approximation.
Yep, sure.
And the two-car detached garage, is there any attic in that garage?
No.
So it's just is there any, I'm sorry, my voice doesn't carry. Is there any heat or plumbing in that garage?
No.
So just some electrical for lights or whatever? Okay.
And just this, that garage has been there for as long as the house has been there, I believe. It's been there a long time.
That'll be covered by.
It's not a new garage.
And so that doesn't look like that needs, I'm not sure if that needs any other relief, so
No.
that may be a part, no, I mean, so if it's only the existence of the garage and it's been there since the house, that may end up being covered on the non-conforming.
Okay.
All right, so,
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll both be notified of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. As we said earlier, we're going to put it on a reserve calendar, wait for you to resolve the creation of the actual legal building lot by way of, hopefully, non-conforming.
I have all the information here, so we'll reach out to the, I have the information here, so I'm going to reach out to the building department and
Great,
take care of
thank
that. Okay?
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have case 71524, Levittown, Sadaf Ramati. Variances, side yards aggregate, maintained addition, shed attached to dwelling, also known as 14 Sadler Lane. Ms. Kashia, I have you sworn in from earlier. Just your name and address for the record.
Lisa Koshia with Permits R Us, 338 Jericho Turnpike, number 396, Syosset, New York, 11791. Good morning again, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm here representing Mrs. Ramati, who wishes to maintain and legalize an addition attached to the dwelling. This property is located in a residence LPRD zone.
Wait, is it an addition? So on ours, it's an addition shed attached. So do they calling it addition just because she attached the shed to the dwelling?
She actually purchased it that way, but yes, it's actually attached to the side of the house, and then they extended the siding around it. So
Okay.
even though you can't get into it from the house,
Okay,
the door's
all right.
outside, yeah.
Got it.
The addition has a side yard setback of 1.75 feet, where the required is 5 feet, and an aggregate of 7.95 feet, where the required is 15 feet. My client purchased the home in 2017, and this already existed. Ms. Ramati respectfully requests your approval.
Gia?
Yes.
On my calendar, I have one addition. On my site plan, I have two things. One is called Maintain Woodshed Addition, and on the same application, there's Maintain Side Addition. Is the side addition just as of right?
Yes, the side addition, and also there's a second floor interior finish on that as well. But the only thing that I'm here before you today
other one.
is the shed/addition.
Okay. And is there anything else you wish to add, Ms. Kachia?
No, thank you.
Are there any other questions from the board? If not, is there a motion?
Have you been to the property?
Yes.
And does that fire pit in the backyard still exist? And a swimming pool?
I do not remember a swimming pool, and I do not remember a fire pit. To be honest, it's been a while, but I can find out. I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, you need to do that. I mean, the Google Earth shows it, but I don't know that
Okay.
this particular has a date on it.
Okay.
That's not a pool?
I can find out. I
What
can
is that?
find out.
Okay.
Jungle gym? And what is the shed used for that's attached?
It's actually pretty small. It's just storage, because there's no basement, you know, in these houses. So it's just really, it's like outside storage things, tools and whatnot.
Wait, you said it didn't have an outside door.
Yeah, no, it's just a little, like the shed would have a door on the outside. You can't enter it from inside the house.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought the opposite.
Oh, no, you can't get to that from inside the house. It only has like a little door, like an exterior shed would have.
Can I see if there's photos in that? I'm very troubled by a 7.5-foot side yard. That doesn't allow emergency apparatus to get through there in the back. There's still a fire pit there, according to the picture. Which I believe needs a permit. I'm sorry? Yeah. It does. The shed that's attached to the dwelling, which is 1.75, does that, I'm going to ask Ms. First that question. Does that require any special fire rating?
Does my shed require that? Oh, because it's attached to the dwelling.
Is there any alternative, other than, to turn it sideways or something?
They put the house siding around it,
I know, but it's,
and it's attached.
and it's a 1.75-foot side yard.
She purchased the house in 2017. It was already there. She purchased the house with it.
Apparently, she didn't do a permit search. What brings you before the board today?
Well, she started to do work on the house, I think it was almost like 2 years ago. She started to renovate, and code enforcement came by. And so we started to file, right, so we filed the proper permits for her.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have no further questions.
No further questions. Do I have a motion?
I move that the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, thank you.
Next, we have cases 716 of 24 through 718 of 24. Merrick, Kyle Calhoun, and Marion Kunz. Variances, lot area occupied, side yard, rear yard, construct addition, garage with roof, deck, and stairs all attached to dwelling. Variance, side yard, maintain portico and open porch, both attached to dwelling. Install 6-foot-high fence forward of the dwelling which may substantially obstruct line of sight and located in clear sight triangle at owner's driveway, also known as 124 Gormley Avenue.
Good morning, members of the board. I am James Lerner, 424 Madison Street, Westbury, New York.
Good morning. My name is Marion Kunz, 124
Okay.
Gormley Avenue, Merrick, New York, 11566.
And my name is Kyle Calhoun, also at 124 Gormley Avenue, Merrick, New York, 11566.
Did you get that, Stephanie? I didn't. Good morning.
Good morning. We're here for three cases, case 716 through 718. One is variance lot area occupied, side yard, rear yard, construct addition, garage with roof deck and stairs, all attached to the dwelling. Case 717, variance, side yard, maintained portico and open porch, both attached to the dwelling. And case 718, install 6-foot-high fence forward of the dwelling, which may substantially obstruct line of sight and located in clear sight triangle at owner's driveway.
Can you hold the microphone a little closer, please?
Yes, okay.
That's way better.
Okay, that's right. I've got a letter of consent
Hold on.
from a number of the neighbors.
Okay, who took the letter around, you or your clients?
They did.
And you showed them whatever it says on the letter and maybe plans, and you saw them sign, and they're their signatures, as
Yes,
far as
we
you know?
explained the project.
Okay, we'll accept that into evidence.
They explained. I'd like to go over the maintain, case 717, the maintain portico and open porch first, because it's a little different in nature. This is the only maintain. They bought the house in 2020, and the porch and portico were already there. And we're here because it's in line with the house, which is 8 inches too close to the side yard. Side yard required is 5 feet, and it's 4 feet 4 inches. So there's a side yard variance for the porch and portico that we're maintaining. Okay, the house itself was built in 1939 with a detached two-car garage already in place. In 1997, there was a second-story addition approved, and that was built on stilts, and it extended approximately a little bit over 7 feet back from the house, and one of the things we're looking to do is to fill that in on the first floor. So it's,
Is that the section that is on one end 7.7 and the
Yes.
other end 14? And it says proposed one-story addition, so you just want to fill that in?
that's filling in
And-
under the second floor.
And the second level of that was already approved by this board?
That was approved without a variance.
As of right, okay.
And there was a approximately 20 by 20 detached garage, 3 feet from the rear property line. And we're here before the board because we would like to build an attached garage, approximately the same size, 20 by 20, attached to the house. That will be 8 feet from the property line, but we would require 15 feet. It's 1 story, so.
Hold on. So I see the proposed garage with the deck above. Now, from the neighbors, where's the directional? Hold on, I just want to see which one you're using as your rear yard. Which one are you using as your rear yard?
That would be the north side, the long,
Oh, there's the directional.
it's a corner property, so there's a side yard and a rear yard and two front yards.
Okay, so that's where you're noting the 8.1, but that
Yes.
doesn't account for the staircase, which then encroaches into where you only have a 4.6, right?
Yes,
And so that's, you're calling that your rear yard, did you say? I'm sorry.
yes,
Okay, so your side yard then is the one that's 4.32?
yes. And being a corner house, there's really very little place for family activities to have any kind of a yard. They want a garage, and a detached garage would actually create a little alleyway from the house. It wouldn't really do that, which is why they want to attach it.
So let's just quickly, for the record, the side yard you're required to have is what?
5 feet?
Mhm. And you are proposing 4.32, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which side is that?
And,
Oh, I see.
and then the rear yard,
Thank you.
you're putting, are they considering the garage as a two-story since you're putting a deck above it? Or what did the building department say?
They say no.
I assume that it being 1 story, it was 15
Okay,
feet.
so what are you
on the-
required on the setback for the one story?
15 feet.
And you're proposing the, Ms. First, with the staircase? That staircase goes up to the second level, right?
Yes, up to the deck.
Is that a permitted encroachment? It's not, is it?
Setback to that stair, so we kind of like to have a 5-foot setback to allow first responders to get beyond the building.
So if we were decided to allow this staircase as it's configured here, is the variance we're granting 8.1 or 4.6? 4.6?
We could narrow that to, to 5 feet. It would be a little bit tighter, but it would still be,
What's the standard width of a staircase?
Standard width of that staircase, you're going to need at least 3 foot.
And the last thing we want to do is narrow it a little bit
we
and make
could
it
do that if the
unsafe.
board asked
What's
us.
3.5 now? Proposed.
Okay.
And I'd like to say a couple of things about the fence.
Yeah, we're getting to the fence now. The fence is not installed yet, correct?
Correct, we're proposing it. The driveway on the west side of the house, or west side neighbor, the fence is away from that neighbor.
So their driveway is on the west side of their property?
The driveway, the neighbor on the west side has a driveway right next to the property, so we've brought the fence away from that driveway, so it doesn't have any effect on that.
Okay.
On the north side, on Nassau Avenue, their driveway is 22 feet away from the property. It already has a 4.5-foot fence.
Wait,
So
what already has it? Your client or that?
this would be the neighbor on the north side.
I know, but who owns that 4.5-foot fence that you're talking about?
That's the neighbor. It's on their property. So the only issue is the owner's use of that driveway.
Wait, I first thought you said that the neighbor to the west, that neighbor to the west had a driveway that was on its west. But then I thought you said, no, in fact, that neighbor's driveway is near the fence. So can you just clarify for me?
The neighbor on the west,
Correct.
my client's fence that we're proposing is probably 25 feet. They will not be impeded, none of their vision or anything will be impeded by our proposed fence. And our proposed fence also has a 20-foot clear side triangle on the corner.
The plot plan seems to show the neighbor's driveway close to the fence. If I just estimate, the setback you show 4.32 feet for your rear setback.
There's no fence there. We're not proposing a fence on that side.
Okay, that's what I was just, that was my
Yeah,
next thing is
no,
I
we're
don't
not,
even
we're
see
not
the fence.
proposing a fence on. We had made a change to that and brought the fence away from their property.
This neighbor's driveway is over there. I agree, this should go across. Is there parking on the street on Nassau, on that side, by your?
Yes. There's, corner properties usually have a lot of, more parking than an interior lot.
Right.
So there are, any visitors or et cetera can park on the street and they won't be affected by any vision issues. Can I make it? Can I also make a note on the driveway, on the owner's driveway? The neighbor to the north has already put in a 4.5-foot fence directly next to their own driveway that carries over to the property line. So the fence that my clients are proposing,
With the driveway, but the property,
But the neighbor to the north, the fence, their driveway's 22 feet.
Yes.
Away.
Away.
So are you saying they put the 4-foot fence right by their driveway, or they
they
put
put
it on the
they
shared
put their
property line?
4.5-foot fence right next to their driveway and then on the property line going over to my client's property line.
Yes.
So we're not really,
this is the neighbor.
I know, I just,
the only issue in terms of sight line is for the owners themselves.
right, I mean,
Okay?
that's
Now,
probably.
there are a couple of mitigating factors. One being Nassau Avenue. There are only 2 properties on Nassau Avenue, which means that there is a stop sign on both corners on this 200-foot run. So it's not as if they're backing into traffic. A car is, they're just not going to be able to go very fast on that property. The other thing is, with the fence being on our property line, it's approximately 5 feet from the curb. There's no sidewalk along Nassau Avenue in front of the subject property.
What about on Gormley?
On Gormley, there's no sidewalk either.
I mean, Gormley is really more the concern, that piece that wants to go.
Gormley is more of a concern because the traffic is moving at a higher speed.
And their driveway, like you said.
Yeah, the owner's driveway is on Nassau, and the only people who would be using that driveway would be the owners themselves, who would,
Why is this a big problem?
obviously, it's, when it's only an owner's use, they get used to that situation.
If I can add on as well, Gormley Avenue, when it might be easier just look at Google Maps, but that, we're at the last block, and then there's one more block. It's a dead end because the middle school is just west of our house, and there is another stop sign with a turn. It's not like people can go very fast down Gormley Avenue at our property anyways.
'Cause you're a dead end.
Yeah, we're not the dead end, but there is a dead end approaching, and there's another stop sign on the next corner that you would turn down to get out of the neighborhood.
But really, the main factor, though, is Nassau Avenue, because the other, on Gormley, there are no issues with the owner's property or with the driveway next to it.
So let me ask you a question. Why do you need a fence forward of the dwelling on Gormley?
You mean the fence that attaches to the corner of the house?
Yes.
It's just to get.
It's
to
a
give them-
triangular piece, the way, I mean, but why do you need that? Why do you
It's
need
just
that? You seem to have a very substantial side yard there.
It's really to get more private property for when they have children and, you know, for safety issues. We want to enclose as much as possible.
Ideally, we would have loved to go to the corner, but we understand that that is not a possibility, and we should have the clear sight triangle. But it is to maximize our 5,000 square lot that we have.
Yeah, that's another thing I didn't say. It's a 5,000 square foot lot. We have, the lot coverage issue was 27 and a half required, and we're asking for 32.3% lot coverage. And that's on a 5,000 square foot lot. Had it been 6,000, we wouldn't have a lot coverage issue.
Any other questions from the board? If not, can I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Each of you who signed in will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Pardon? Yeah. Why is it? All right, we're going to take a 10-minute break to give the court reporter the opportunity to flex her fingers. We'll be back in 10 minutes at 11:30. Yeah.
Everybody make phone calls. Phone calls. I'll call you, Kim.
Send more money. That's a send more money. Calling the next case.
Next, we have case 60724, West Hempstead, Hempstead Tire Service Incorporated, renewal of grant to maintain one double-faced ground sign, overall size 360 square feet, 180 square feet per face, overall height 16 feet 3 inches, setback 0 feet from front property line, and 7 feet clearance from grade to bottom of sign, also known as 265 Hempstead Turnpike. Yeah, please stand. You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the true self you got? Take a seat, state your name and address for the record. Up. I don't think it's on. Just hold the button down on top of the mic. Yep. Yep.
Bryn Wolf, 265
Better.
Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552.
Sorry to keep you counsel, but you're here for a
Sign renewal.
sign renewal. Building Department inspected the premises on July 29th of 2024 and found that all conditions previously imposed by this board were complied with. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, sir.
Didn't think so. Any other questions from the board? If not, can I please have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Next, we have case 61424 Inwood, Jamie Romero. Variance lot area, construct two-story and second-story addition and convert one family to two-family dwelling, also known as 53 Clinton Avenue.
This is interesting. Very interesting.
Amiel Savaldi, One Meadow Drive, Woodmere, New York.
Yeah, that's the interesting part.
My name is Jaime Romero.
Good morning, this is Judith Romero.
And you want to just state your address for the record, please? Your address, so she can take
Your
it down.
address.
149 Bayview Avenue, Inwood.
Thank you, and have her state hers also. It has to go in the record.
Let me say it. 149 Bayview Avenue, Inwood, New York, 11096.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning to the board.
Morning.
I'm here with Jamie and Judith, who are requesting the board to grant them a variance. They purchased this house a year ago, and they want to add a rear addition, two-story addition, and a second floor over the existing one-story, and to have it a two-family house, which is permitted by the zoning. In fact, on the left and right of the property, there are even larger two-family, even three-family. So it's consistent with the...
Mr. Zavaldi, are you saying it's permitted because it's in a C zone or what?
Correct.
And does it have the requisite 12,000 square feet?
That's the only variance that we are requesting.
What does it have instead?
We have 9,674, and the minimum required is 12,000. There was another neighboring house that got a variance for lot coverage.
Yeah, but that's not coverage, that's...
On the lot coverage, on the lot size. Correct. The owners have spoken to many of the neighbors. They are friendly. Some of them they couldn't reach. I would like to present a consent that some of the neighbors have given them, and they spoke to neighbors, and nobody had any concern.
We'll accept the consents and evidence, Mr. Zavaldi.
Mr. Zavaldi, the others, I'm sorry, I'm trying to do some math here. The others that you mentioned having also two families. So let me just start like with the one to the south. It says McDaniel Wiggs. Now that lot is more like 7,000 square feet. My question is, do you know if that is a legal two-family? That would be lot 49, no, lot 179.
Lot 7, I know that lot 176 and 177, which is north of it, are two-family, recently have large additions.
Okay, but wait, what I'm trying to ask now is, and I'm happy to go through those two first. I want to know which ones, to the extent you know, are legal two families.
I didn't check all of them. So I cannot tell you. I know that at least on one, the one that got the variance for lot coverage was.
No, but I don't want to go about lot coverage.
Okay.
I just,
On
you mentioned.
on area, sorry, not
Okay,
coverage.
but you mentioned that there are other two families that provide a precedential value to you in this argument. That's
Correct.
legitimate.
So
I just want to know, to the extent you know, point out to me the ones that you know are legal two families.
As far as, I think that from what we checked, they're all legal. So the one, the lot 179 immediately south of it is a two-family.
Hold on. So you believe the one on
179.
On 179, you believe that's a legal two-family?
It's a legal two-family.
You're certain about that? Because that one is a very small lot. It's about 7,000 square feet.
Yeah, right.
And you're confident, you believe that one, do you believe it came to us for relief?
I did not check it, this particular one, but the
Oh, wait,
record showed
wait.
it.
No, but don't bounce around, because I have ADHD and I can't do it. So, as it relates to lot 179, it says it's a two-family, and you're not sure if it's legal or not. You have no knowledge.
I cannot
Okay,
confirm it.
so go to the next one, so we don't know if that's legal. Let's do 177. Do you know if that's a legal two-family?
Yes.
You're certain that one is legal?
Yes,
Do you know if
that's
it came to the zoning board? Because it's also under, not by a lot, but it's under the size, I believe.
Yes, right. That it was granted the variance for that less than 12,000.
So it was granted a two-family?
Yes.
Okay, so
Correct.
that one we believe is legal. How about 176?
It was recently built, and I did not check it myself.
We don't
but,
know. Okay, let's do 182, which is a pretty small lot. Very small.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
It's a smaller lot that we have, correct. It's, I think it's a
How can these numbers be
44 by 100, roughly.
Hold on.
Which one? 49, this one? 51 is new? And they had a permit, right? But this one is not a two-family. 49 is not, oh, sorry. Yeah, it is. This one, 49 is, and they did it. And he had a permit. everybody here is two-family, three-family, but they want to see if it's legal. If they got, yeah, maybe they want to check it. That's what the issue is.
Excuse me, can I ask you, do you guys live in the house that you're asking for a two-family house now? Do you live in this house?
No, it's empty.
It's empty?
Yes.
And do you own the present house that you live in now?
Yes.
Got it.
And what is the address of the home you're living in now?
149 Bayview Avenue, Inwood, New York,
149
11096.
Bayview.
Currently,
No,
it's vacant.
No. All right.
Yes.
Just a sec, Mr. Zavaldi, because there are a couple other numbers that don't seem to jive, not on your applicants, so I'm just having her correct it for me. And she also has some information about the two families.
This one, here, 65. The lot is 12,000. This one is a little bit less than 12,000. And you got the variance. But this, yours are even less. They're close. You see, because it's in the shape, this one is larger. So yours is 56, yeah. This is 56, yours is only 55 feet wide.
They look the same.
Yeah, but it's because it goes like this, so they have more area. So they're I think 11,000 square feet. We are like 9,600 square feet. They're checking from the records who is legal, who is not. Well, tell them to come to me. I hope like it. But they gave a variance here, why should give here?
Mr. Zavaldi, it is, we have confirmed that the lot south, it's lots 179 McDaniels Wiggs, that did receive a legal non-conforming two-family, I think recently. So that is a legal two-family, which I'm sure you'll find. And I'm just checking the two north of it to give us some feel. I mean, it sounds like the character argument you're making might be a valid one. just checking these two. And the one directly north is also a legal two-family, Mr. Zavaldi,
170.
granted in 1956. And we're just checking one more, the one on lot 176.
So these two are.
I
that's
find
okay.
this one to be surprising.
So now they're just checking this one. They have three others, then I hope. This one, this? No, I think this commercial is here. But this is the big house. I think it looks like the same house. It looks like the same. Looks like the commercial is here. So you're saying here? I don't think that they could do the big house if they divided it. You're sure it's not this?
big ones.
I understand, but if it's.
You know what, Becky? Hold on. So as it relates to 176, Mr. Zavaldi, we're not sure. It was granted a variance for a two-family in 1956, like the one next to it. However, there's a note in the file that in 1990, the CO was voided because it was never built. So that was in 1990. We don't know what happened subsequent to that, but at least it gives us some idea of the ones you're referencing. Now, I know one of my board members asked, and you guys live elsewhere right now, and no one lives in this house?
Right. It's vacant since it was purchased a year ago.
Okay. And you intend to live there once it's built?
No.
Oh, okay.
They live nearby and.
Pardon me?
They live nearby and they are.
Yeah, generally speaking, I can't speak for all members of the board, but it's generally, if we change single-family dwellings into two-family dwellings, we usually, at a minimum, require the owner occupy one of the units. And if you live nearby, you probably appreciate that, because we generally believe, I should only speak for myself. I believe, and I think there's a school of thought out there that when the owner lives in the house, the owner has more of an incentive to keep it nice. And so if you live in the neighborhood, you can probably appreciate, you don't want all your neighbors selling their houses and having a bunch of renters in and out, and no one really has as much of an interest as an owner of keeping it nice, So that is often a condition that we impose. Is that a condition I mean, I don't know, you're not intending to move there, so it's maybe an odd question for me to ask you. Hold on.
Yeah, Alex. My son.
How old is he?
27.
My client is ready for the condition.
You'll agree to a condition that it's got to be owner-occupied?
Yeah, one of the units would be occupied by their son, who is...
On the title?
Pardon me?
Yeah, so owner occupied means he'd have to be on the title, but.
He is on
Okay,
it, yeah.
And that condition would run with the land. So even if you sell it, which I don't think is a big deal, most people agree to owner occupied. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Go ahead, Mr. Zavaldi, now that I've disrupted the process completely. You can go ahead and finish.
Yeah, the first floor is going to be occupied by one unit and with access to the basement, and the second floor would be the second family.
Oh, what's in the basement, Mr. Zavaldi?
Nothing, no.
Basement is just unfinished storage.
Becky, this first.
Drawing A2. It's a drawing A2.
Pardon me?
Drawing A2. Unfinished basement.
Now, I know you're proposing alterations here too. I'm just going to go one by one. As far as the basement in the plans, is that all currently there? Is the basement being in any way enlarged by way of this application?
We basically double. On the left side is the left half is the existing, and the right half is the addition.
So there are two cellar entrances, or is this that's a window? So the cellar entrance exists already?
Yes.
And this whole other side? Okay.
Yes.
Second floor. I see we have our entrance with the cellar entrance and the whole thing going on. And a front entrance. I'm just trying to see where, is the second floor one unit proposed?
Yes. You come with the L-shaped stair, and you come into the unit.
And that one is proposed with 5 bedrooms. Let's see, 1, 2 bathrooms? No. There must be a third.
5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
And then living room, kitchen, dining room. And then the other unit
The A3.
has also 5 bedrooms. It's the exact same floor plan almost.
Yes.
So 10 bedrooms. Boy, how many cars are going to go with this? That seems like a lot. Also, if we were inclined to grant it with regard to the cellar, there would be conditions about it not becoming habitable space. You know, it's one thing to have your storage down there and your laundry and those sorts of things.
Right.
But that wouldn't be allowed to be used as habitable space.
Okay.
Common condition.
Mr. Romero, how old is your son?
27.
Is he married?
Not yet.
Planning on getting married?
Yes.
Hopefully he's going to have a large family to occupy 5 bedrooms. That's not a question. Don't worry about it. It's merely a, observational comment. And he's on the deed now? Your son is on, what is his name?
Alex.
Alex?
Alex Romero Cortez.
Get in a minute. Any other questions from the board? If not, go right ahead.
The basement, there's a rear entrance. You know that you can't have people living in a basement. You know,
That's understood, yeah.
I want to put that as if myself is
Yeah,
inclined to vote
agreed,
for this.
agreed.
It's-
I would want that there. And I'd also want to make sure that the people in the two-family house were related, you know, wasn't renting rooms out to people.
Right.
Because that's not, we're
It's-
here to protect the neighborhood, you know?
I
You know,
understood.
people's property values and everything like that, you know, nothing. So that's, my concern is basically the basement.
I appreciate it.
And five bedrooms is pretty big for a two-family house.
5 bedrooms per unit. Yeah, if the board were inclined to deny the, would your client accept a condition that we not have the cellar entrance, that you only be able to enter the house from the interior?
It's existing, and to use for storage, it would be,
I thought the right side of the house was the new side.
actually, it's the existing, it's
The entrance on the left, well, maybe that one goes downstairs too. On the left, what you're calling the left, isn't that the old side of the house?
yeah.
There's a front entrance.
Yeah, we wanted to have a rear entrance so they can move, not for habitable, but for storage, just to ease to get stuff in and out.
When you say rear, you mean the one, it's really the side. I'm not trying to get technical.
No, no,
I'm
actually in the
looking
back.
at the one.
It's on the left side, it's,
Well, no, there's
It's-
a front.
it's shown on the plan, on A3, it's shown going down, DN,
Right, well,
on the
there's a
left
fr-
side.
I believe I see a front, I see a back entrance that's, I think a slider. And then I see the side entrance. Yeah, this is the rear, but I'm.
May I approach?
Sure. See, like right, that's the front. So there's two cellar entrances.
No, this is from the inside the house. It goes down.
Isn't that a door, right?
That's what it is. This is the stair. Green's showing up all the time now in kitchen.
Does this stair from the outside go to the basement also?
Yeah, the two stairs, you can go from the outside, and you can go from the inside the house.
So what is that, just a window there?
No. We got kicked out of the house for a week.
Thank you. All right, you can let Stephanie the record reflect that the representative for the applicant had clarified the rear and front door and the one that goes to the basement, and the side one to which I referred earlier goes to the basement, but that's not a door from the exterior, that's currently a window proposed. Okay, I have no.
You look too young to have a 27-year-old.
Thank you.
I know. Oh, hi.
Mark, does anyone else have any questions? Okay, anything else you wish to add, Mr. Zavaldi?
No, thank you for your consideration.
Okay, and any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move the hearing be closed. The case placed on the decision calendar When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second?
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, folks. Mr. Zavaldi, can you hold up for a moment? The chairman, would you like me to withdraw my motion to close? Mr. Chairman, I withdraw the previously made motion to close the hearing on case number 614 of 2024 in Inwood. Jamie Romero.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Come on back. Mr. Zafaldi, you can sit at the desk. You could sit back there. We need you up there.
He wants to speak to you on the record.
Yeah. Mr. Romero, when did you purchase the home, sir?
A year ago.
The last deed that we have of record is August 31st, 2022? That's when you bought it?
Yes.
And you previously testified that your son's name was on that deed?
Yes.
We just retrieved a copy of it, and it's in your name and your wife's name. How do you want to explain that?
No, but I bought it with him. He's in the
Mortgage.
oh, that means in the mortgage.
No, he's not on the mortgage, otherwise he'd be on the deed. He's probably on the note, and you probably needed his signature to bolster your income, so you qualified for the loan.
No problem.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified, as I said earlier, as Mr. Pellegrini said, of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Go have lunch. Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we close the morning calendar.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.